modern anime all doesn't look original, but there's a lot of anime from the 90s. You can tell it's from the 90s because it looks a certain way. Does that mean it's not original? Because you could say the same thing if we're gonna go down that road. Today we're gonna be checking out what 90s anime did better than new gen anime.
Do you guys remember when anime looked like this? I
I sure
mean,
do.
like this was some
And all those anime aesthetic pages will not let you forget what anime look like. Oh my goodness.
sexy looking anime. Like these were some top
I know the video just started, but I got to get that off my chest. I hate how there's so many like 90s anime aesthetic pages just all over the internet, and it's all just like the most vapid surface level bullshit, excuse me, taken from just like 90s anime. And a lot of times they just go out of the way to find like obscure anime that isn't even that good. It just looks pretty, I suppose, or it looks like it came out of the 90s. And it's just like, oh my God, you guys probably never even watched the anime. You probably just went online, typed in Google 90s anime, and just started taking clips and stuff. Like that stuff grinds my gears. Anyway, let's continue.
tier drawings. Like these drawings were making me want to just These are anime in the 90s.
And I can't deny anime 90s anime definitely looked cool. It had its own aesthetic, but let me just make it be known, I am not a anime 90s purist who thinks anime looks way better in the 90s than it did or is just overall better. A lot of the time, this is just like a nostalgia thing because I'll tell you right now, just like movies, just like video games, just like all that stuff, we're just remembering all the good stuff that came out. If you go back and look, I promise you, you're gonna find just as much dog shit anime and video games that came out alongside the good stuff. Just like today, nothing's really changed. It's just people have either selective memory, they're being biased, or they're just too young and they weren't around at the time when the stuff was coming out. Because just like today, there was a lot of slop back then too.
Animation, of course, has improved over time, and I mean, we went from characters sitting in empty spaces by themselves to this. Anime is an art form, and although we do have the technology that has helped anime propelled in the way it did over time, I feel like most companies can forget that. Back then, anime had that distinct art style that had an aesthetic to it.
That's because back then they would have 100 animators locked into their desks with handcuffs and never allowed them to go home animating crazy shit 24/7 and get paid pennies. And honestly, it hasn't changed much. It's still kind of the same thing. Sure, there's better tools to help that, but a lot of the time, it's unfortunate truth about the anime industry or just animation in general.
Like, can you please tell me why this anime character is looking at me like that? Why is she looking so good?
There's plenty of good-looking anime women in current anime, men and women. You know what I mean? Like, let's keep it a buck.
Boy, if you don't. I remember when I was a child, waking up early in the morning to watch Dragon Ball Z and seeing how buff every single character was and how they trained. Even though it was dang near impossible to train in 100 times gravity, to look.
I'm not gonna lie, watching Dragon Ball Z as a kid after, it came on TV, you watch them training, I'm not gonna lie, me and my brothers, we would go outside and we would start training like crazy. Like we would just be working out like, we're kids. We're kids doing imitating what we see on TV. But it was the same exact thing. It's pretty funny. I know I'm not the only one.
Like that, I would. Knowing that.
And of course, everybody tried to go Super Saiyan. I'm just there's no way. If you watched Dragon Ball Z as a kid, you grew up watching it, and you say you never tried to go Super Saiyan, you're a liar.
Can somebody explain to me why Dragon Ball characters now are so skinny? Like, this is wrong. Like, they did my boy Gohan wrong. Like, if me and
Honestly, I can see what people are saying, and I agree. It doesn't look as good, but I don't know, maybe they're trying to make their characters look older, or maybe it's just easier. Honestly, it probably just comes down to ease of animation. Like having to draw all those muscles every frame is probably a lot. That's the only thing I can think of.
Gohan hit the gym, I feel like I'm squatting more than him. I'm not gonna lie.
Stop the cap. Stop the cap right now. Stop the cap.
To put it into words, nowadays, anime just looks unoriginal. And
Okay. Let me hear what he has to say.
before you guys start attacking me, calm down. I already see the comments being typed. Just hear me out. Hear me out on this point. In this day and age, studios currently have no use to sit and derail from what's most popular.
Okay, but you can. All right. I know maybe he's gonna correct himself in a second or whatever, or he's gonna cover this. But anime back then in the 90s, a lot of it all look the same too. You're saying modern anime all doesn't look original, but there's a lot of anime from the 90s. You can tell it's from the 90s because it looks a certain way. Does that mean it's not original? Because you could say the same thing if we're gonna go down that road.
Right now. Like the phrase "if it ain't broke, don't fix it" is being taken to another level in this era. Many
No, see, because you can say the same thing about older anime, like I just said. Like they all had the same eyes. Though it's just it's I don't know. I think this is kind of like a silly point personally.
characters have the same look, if you get what I'm saying.
Just like in the
These are
90s, man.
basically the same characters with a different font on all of them. This one looks like he ran out of budget though, I can't lie. Bro looks like he needed to be scrapped off the list. But I came to a realization though. The actual reason for this dilemma in the medium today, we'll have to take it back to the detachment of cell animation. Many companies came up using this technique.
Which is why a lot of animation in the 90s also had characters that looked exactly the same as well in the face. Like, we have to be honest.
Cell animation gave artists creative freedom. And yeah, trust that the animators took full advantage of this, because they got so good to the point that the animation industry had finally hit its...
I mean, they still have creative freedom these days. It's just now they have better tools to do it at a quicker pace. I don't think that's a bad thing. A lot of the time, they did it a certain way back then because they didn't have access to computers and technology that we have now. I think it's way better that they have that type of stuff that are not necessarily killing themselves. And there's a lot of great animation and a lot of great anime that came out these days, nowadays, that took advantage of that, that technology. So I don't know. I'm always like an animator first when it comes to this type of like medium. I want to put the people that work on it first. I think they deserve to have a life and then get paid well and not be chained to their desk 24/7 while still producing good quality stuff. Like I'll always be on that side. So I'm glad that things have changed for the better in a lot of cases. And as far as anime looking, I guess cheaper, I guess he's trying to get at these days. I think that just has a lot to do with money. The higher ups, like nobody wants to make an anime. The artists that work on, animation anime, nobody wants to make something cheap or whatever. But it's just the people in charge, it's a business, they make a lot of money doing it, and they want faster turnaround. I think that's kind of just what it comes down to. And I'm no expert. I don't work in the industry. I don't want to sit here and come off like I am, because I'm not.
The golden age of animation is what I'd like to call in today's terms peak. This was the time when drawings and backgrounds started to have that insane detail, from the hair strand on a character's head to the fingernails on each person's hand. I'm talking about that Studio Ghibli.
Okay, he's being a little biased because a lot of this you see in a lot of anime now. There's a lot of great anime that's come out the past couple years and recently that look amazing. It's just because there's so much of it produced nowadays is that people tend to think that it's worse or maybe it's a little bit harder to find. But there's just so many anime that's come out that looks just as good as it's ever looked. In some cases better.
That Cowboy Bebop, that old school Dragon Ball.
That's what I'm talking about! That's why he's there!
And if we're talking about animation strictly and you want to put Dragon Ball in there and Dragon Ball Z rather, Dragon Ball had better animation. I'm not gonna lie. It was like more focused on the fighting, but then you get into Dragon Ball Z and a lot of it's just like reused frames. Like the technique isn't there as much. So what are we talking about when it comes to animation and you want to use Dragon Ball Z as an example? I can understand Dragon Ball, but not so much Dragon Ball Z.
That's why he's the GOAT! The GOAT!
Anime ain't look this good. It had that beautiful but warm color palette that every time you watched it, you couldn't help but feel cozy and want to just relax in the most chill way possible. This is the animation that you see on those slowed and reverb songs we listen to.
Yeah, and this is what I call anime aesthetic that I hate these types of people. It's like, oh my goodness, they're like I already covered it in the beginning of the video, but I hate these types of fucking, I don't know what to call them.
All the time. It's because it carried that, and dare I say, that vibe.
I'm outside in an AMG.
I hate these types of things, bro. I hate it. I hate it. It's so whack.
Right
It's so whack.
outside.
What is this? Like, come on.
Two-turn, baby girl, you know me.
These are people who chase vibe anime type things instead of actually enjoying anime. It's so what is the word I'm looking for? It's so like it's so surface level like waif bullshit, man.
Animation resonated with your soul. The problem with anime today is anime can sometimes look too perfect or smooth, if you guys get what I'm saying. Every drawing looks like it had no room for error, and that can take away from what we can relate to when watching these shows. The main thing is,
What is it taking away that you can relate to? What is it? I don't understand what he means by that. What are they taking away to relate to? And that's, I don't
humans
know, man.
aren't perfect. And that's what makes
And that comes down to the character, in my opinion, not necessarily the way they draw the character. You can definitely convey that, that's for sure. But I don't think every anime is like a one fit thing for all anime. I don't think all anime should look a certain way just so you can have a vibe of 90s anime.
art. It was those mistakes or imperfections that allowed you to resonate with the photo you were looking at on another level. Those imperfections were the perfections.
No, brother, I'm you know what? Let me stop.
Boiling down what we made from creative minds to overly saturated photos with no room for error takes away from the art that you were witnessing because it lacks that humanness.
I don't think it lacks humanness, like, because at the end of the day, it was made by humans with a vision, someone who had an idea, someone who put it all together, people who made the art, animated all that stuff. Like the humanness is still there. It's just a different art direction like anime has. Like anime is gonna change, it's gonna evolve, and there's still plenty of anime that tries to capture the 90s aesthetic. Like you can definitely find it. But it's just I think there's a very popular way things look nowadays, and I can agree with that. Do I wish there's more variety, that more popular anime that had more variety? Yes, absolutely. But to say 90s anime is better because it wasn't as clean or whatever, I don't know, man. I just really believe a lot of this comes down to nostalgia from people who weren't there to experience it. So they're just building it up in their head to be a certain thing based on what they see on the internet and clips and those like vibe pages. I think that's a problem. All anime vibe pages need to be taken down. If I was president, that'd be the first law I make.
Now, I'm not gonna take away from what digital animation has enabled us to do. There's a reason why so much anime are even able to away from.
And can I just say, like, I hate people that take anime and they like interpolate it to like 60 FPS and it looks like garbage, like this right here.
Because it lacks that humanness. Now, I'm
Like,
not
this
gonna
looks so
take away
bad.
from what digital
It's
animation
awful.
has enabled us to do. There's a reason why so much anime are even able to come out. That doesn't mean all of them are good, let's be honest. But
Like I said, there wasn't a lot of good anime in the 90s too. There was just as many bad anime as was good animes. It's always like that. Come on now, you gotta be fair.
there are many anime, and I mean many, that are expanding on the creativity in their own fashion. For example, Ranking of Kings, Chainsaw Man, and even Afro Samurai. These animes understand the advantage that they have today with their digital advantage, and instead of just using it, they embrace it. They're using completely 3D environments, for example, camera angles we wouldn't have ever gotten with 2D animation. This is the digital animation's way of immersing you into their TV show. They use other techniques to keep you engaged. Maybe later down the line, people might view the beginning of this digital era as a what was. Thank you for taking the time to watch this video. Subscribe. That would be extremely appreciated, and
This was a good video. I really fuck with dude. This is he did a good job with this video, but a lot of the stuff I don't necessarily agree with. Like I said already, I think people are just being biased or they weren't there to experience it and they're just remembering or they're looking back on all the stuff that was good and they're ignoring all the stuff that was bad as well. And like I said, I blame a lot of this on like these anime vibe clip pages that you see everywhere, and they're just like young. I'm almost positive it's just like younger people like, man, I wish I was there in the 90s, and they're not. I don't know, they're just not, it wasn't all sunshine and rainbows back then, I promise you. But anyway, like I said, this is a great video. I'm gonna leave the link to the original video in the description if you want to check it out and support and subscribe. Thank you for watching, and I'll talk to you in the next one.